there's more flexibility. Maybe you can do more common sense things with the construction management deal. You know, it's not just, well, here it is, it's done, that's it. You can go back in and say, you know, this isn't coming out the way it should, or and so forth. And so I guess, you know, he probably wasn't going to tell us the negative sides of it, but I think we've talked to enough people that have worked with it that
well, when you do it the old way too, where a general contractor just bids the whole thing and then he parcels it out to the subs. This way, you bid the small pieces, and it gives your local people a lot better chance to get involved. Because if you bring in a general contractor from Omaha or something, he's going to have his.
They do it at that price, whereas in this process, we get a chance to be kind of involved in the evaluation of that bid, because when they look at the qualified bidder background.
Absolutely everything was bid though, so it didn't just.
Once that bid's there, they don't have cost overruns. They got to live with that bid.
Unless we approve it.
Yeah, we can make change
And then it
orders.
gives you a chance to maybe, like Marty was saying, go back and do that negotiation of,
Right.
well, if we want to do this other tile or different options. They said sometimes the bidders actually came back with suggestions, like you said, on the tile thing, but I thought didn't he talk about some electrical deal too? And I can't remember where he said that was, and I don't think it was a school. I can't remember that one. But he gave a number of examples where they kind of did bunch of, bid, but then, where you're going to bid, if you want to go back to negotiate, or sometimes the bidders even come in and say, well, here's the bid, but we think you can do this.
I guess you guys think of anything else?
Well, the train gentleman again, Dan.
Dennis.
Dennis. Anyhow, he was talking about different ways to kind of fund the heating and cooling, which I thought was kind of interesting. That there were some options there.
Which he brought up the bonds that we talked about before, as part of the stimulus package, and there are always those criteria that have to be met and so forth, but definitely stay abreast of that and see if it's something that we could gain from.
Probably time frames that you have to fall into also for that stimulus, in case it leaves us or.
Right.
Okay, anything else, Marty? Lonnie? Tom? I have no report. Reports of standing committees. Standing committees, where did it? Reports of building principals, counselors, district committees. Mr. Alexander, you got a report?
Yep. Map test training in Kearney on August 6th. This past last Thursday went very well. We had 18 teachers, including the technology coordinator and technology infusion specialist. That would be Mrs. Remry. Ms. Remry, excuse me, went with us. Mike and his family have been working hard to get computers that we've ordered up and ready to go, and they've got the lab over there, Mr. Hill's lab, set up primarily with new PCs, and so now they're just working on software installation and those types of things to get that ready to go. Working on pre-service or in-service coming up this week with teachers on Thursday and Friday. Looking forward to that. We have custodian interviews tomorrow. We have 14 total candidates, so we picked 4 from those candidates, and we're working with them tomorrow. So Dora and I will be working together on that. Just want to commend Mary Lou Krumel for her hard work and training the new guy. She's put in some extra hours and time and helping me prepare, and I just appreciate that. And then thanks to Sherry Soul, Dory Dulitz, and Aaron Craven, our 6th grade teacher, who stepped in and helped us out and lost the janitor in the summer, so they've done a great job. Just some information on our enrollments. These are as close as we can get right now, because you never know who might show up and who might not. But just based on what we have for current student lists, at Ord Elementary, we're at 192, up from 186 last year. Preschool, we have 40 students enrolled, which is maximum for 20 each session, and 4 on the waiting list. And when those kids, when a spot becomes available for them, then they would be able to enroll. Benton 26, Elyria approximately 11, and St. Mary's 50, and that's in discussion with Cheryl Rognish. I talked to her on Monday. I went over and introduced myself at St. Mary's on Monday and talked to her. So that's a total of 319 in those elementary school settings for the 09-10 school year, which is up from 279 at the end of the year last year. So just some enrollment information for you there. I've met with approximately 17 teachers now in the elementary, just on a one-on-one basis, kind of trying to get some idea generators and small discussion with them. I've asked them basically 2 questions, one being what would they like to, if Ord Elementary School as they see it now, what are the good things about it, and what would they like to never see changed, modified, or messed with, and otherwise, Mr. Alexander, just leave this alone. There's been some very interesting common themes that developed from that. One of them is a tremendous staff cohesion, which I think is a good thing to hear. They were all sounded very supportive of that, and that they feel like the entire staff has the idea of kids first. So that was very, very good. They talked about the support from the parents in the community and felt very supported there. Just an overall tremendous amount of pride in their school and community. So those were good. Just informal meetings to have with the staff members thus far. One of the common themes that did come out on things that they would like to see changed, altered, or modified, in other words, help us in this direction, was technology. I think the board has committed to that already thus far since I've been here, and they appreciate that support. Want to communicate that to you. And then the heating, cooling system, and the noise in that, probably something you've all heard about at one time or another, but that's kind of been a resounding theme. So some things that I'm currently working on outside of the in-service for teachers. Working on high ability learner identification criteria to match the board policy. So there'll be a group of teachers and I that work on some of that. We're working on about a 3-step process that will involve student achievement on test scores, teacher recommendation, and then parent recommendation and approval will be part of that process as well. So trying to put that together. We heard various presentations and things at administrator days, and got some good information there, especially regarding the state tests and things like that. So that'll be information that we'll pass along, and Mr. Hagan might have some for you too. So I'll stop there.
I guess I'll just piggyback off of what Mr. Alexander said and thank the board for providing the administration team the opportunity to go to administrator days. It's a great way to kind of get back in the flow and get some quality ideas as you embark on the new year, so to speak. A couple of things from administrator days. I talked to Jason about the importance of our special education staff in preparing for the reading test, the need to make sure in our IEPs this fall we do a great job of identifying the different modifications that our special needs students are going to need on that state reading test. There's going to be a lot of comparisons, and I hope everybody, I'm excited for the state test. I think it's a good thing, but at the same time, it is going to open up. There'll be a lot of comparisons, you know, what's Ord doing compared to Birdwell, compared to Broken Bow, you know, but we're excited about that. Also along those lines, Sandy Bartholomew has been a part of putting together the state math test, and we will be piloting that test this fall here at the junior senior high school. We have made a decision here at the junior senior high school to test our students online because we feel like within the next 2-3 years it's all going to be online. So instead of paper penciling it this year, we feel like it's advantageous for our students to take it online, get used to that process. So we will be piloting that here at the school.